The first sentence is, John said Joe is lazy. Yeah, so who's lazy? John's lazy. The second one is, John said Joe is lazy. Yeah. Now, it's a short sentence, so you'd probably just say, John said Joe is lazy. But if you wanted to be dramatic and stretch it out a bit, you could say, John said Joe is lazy. Because this is like a little sentence that goes together. Joe is lazy. John said Joe is lazy. John said Joe is lazy. Okay, I'm overemphasizing it. Let me do it like normal. John said Joe is lazy. John said Joe is lazy. John said Joe is lazy. Okay, so the first one, John said Joe is lazy. Say it with me. John said Joe is lazy. Do it again. John said Joe is lazy. Okay, now let's do John said, a slight pause, Joe is lazy, like this. John said Joe is lazy. John said Joe is lazy. Okay, you're sounding good. Let's try this. This might be a little bit more down your alley for some of you all. A plus B times C is D. The second one is A plus B times C is D. Okay, so say the first one with me, and let's really emphasize it. A plus B times C equals D. Again, A plus B times C equals D. Okay? Then A plus B times C equals D. Again, A plus B times C equals D. And here I have a little story about myself. It doesn't have any punctuation because it's supposed to be speech, not written English. And let me give it to you with no thought groups. My name is Kay, and I've been living in South Carolina for about 18 years. Before coming here, I lived in North Carolina, which is the state where I did the largest part of my growing up. Both my brother and sister still live there, one in Charlotte and one in Asheville. The Asheville area is great if you enjoy outdoor sports like hiking and camping. Well, speaking in English without using the adequate pauses to show people what words go together is like writing without any punctuation. It's very hard for people to understand. Now, your language, and even the languages that move along like that, they've got things going on that the listeners can hear that I can't hear because I'm an American. But English makes more of a use of pauses and stress and falling pitch than most languages. Okay, so allow me to pause between thought groups here. What I'm going to do is take all this language here and I'm going to divide it into smaller chunks. And I'm going to let you know what words to go together, because I'll say some words and then I will pause. And I'll say some more words and then I'll pause. And this isn't, there's not just one way of doing this. You can choose which words you chunk together. It does have to make sense grammatically. Like, I lived in North Carolina. I wouldn't say I lived, or I wouldn't say I lived in, pause, North Carolina, which, pause. That wouldn't make sense grammatically. You need to keep things together to make sense. But, you know, there's, the speaker decides exactly how to break this up. But this means I'm pausing between phrases, and this means the end of a sentence. So listen to this. My name is Kay, and I've been living in South Carolina for about 18 years. So my name is Kay. I'm going to pause and let my pitch go down a little. And I've been living in South Carolina, pause, and my pitch goes down a little, for about 18 years. My pitch goes down farther. Before coming here, I lived in North Carolina, which is the state where I did the largest part of my growing up. Both my brother and sister still live there, one in Charlotte and one in Asheville. The Asheville area is great if you enjoy outdoor sports like hiking and camping. Now I could have this is kind of a long section. I could have divided that up more. I could have said the Asheville area is great if you enjoy outdoor sports like hiking and camping. It's easier to understand, isn't it? Okay. Would you all do me a favor and just read with me? Even though this is about me and not about you, let's read it together and let's exaggerate these pauses. Okay. My name is Kay, and I've been living in South Carolina for about 18 years. Before coming here, I lived in North Carolina, which is the state where I did the largest part of my growing up. And again, hold on a second. I could break this up more too. I could say, which is the state where I did the largest part of my growing up. Okay. Let's see. Both my brother and sister still live there, one in Charlotte and one in Asheville. The Asheville area is great if you enjoy outdoor sports like hiking and camping. Comments or questions? Now, let me give you one quick and dirty tip. If you can slow down when you speak English and pause between phrases, that will really boost your intelligibility, even if there's sounds that you can't pronounce. So that's one takeaway thing from tonight. I wish I could give you all a whole 12-week course on pronunciation. I wish we could take it little by little and do lots and lots of practice. We can't do that tonight. But this is one thing to take away. Listen to how I'm speaking right now. If you slow down and pause between phrases, people will find it much easier to understand you. You're giving them time to catch up. If you speak quickly and there's something people can't get, they're going to get lost. If you speak more slowly and pause, then they'll often be able to figure out what you're saying, even if one or two sounds are off or the stress is off in a word. Okay? Slow down. Pause a lot between phrases. Pause more than feels natural. Okay? It's not going to feel natural to you.